Well, good morning. We've got a crappy weather forecast, so I'm afraid no camping this weekend. As much as I don't mind a good storm, it's quite entertaining to watch. I'm not camping in an unmanaged woodland with lots of deadfall, etc. when we've got 50-mile-an-hour plus winds. It's just too dangerous, I'm sorry. So I've taken the opportunity this morning to come out and check out somewhere local for future trips before the weather gets too bad. Got a bit of rain, the wind's not too bad at the moment. I think I've got a couple of hours before the storm's due, so just a bit of wandering. It looks like an old mountain bike track here. Little berms and jumps. No one's been down here for a while though. Seems as good a route as any to access into the middle of the wood. So green now. It's quite jungle-like. All the ferns, it's very nice. Always got to watch areas where there's lots of ferns though. Ferns and an area that's got a lot of deer. It's like tick heaven. Not a clue where this path goes, but I'm liking how it looks. Now, if I could give one bit of advice for exploring places like this. Bloody hell, excuse me a minute, just having a look. That's beautiful. So green. I don't know quite how well it'll come over on film. You see that? Great, love it. Yes, this is a Forestry Commission site, and most Forestry Commission places are open access land, so you can be here 24 hours a day, whenever you like. They do normally have strict rules about no camping, but let's face it, a place like this, if you're being a bit stealthy, you're not going to get caught. And also, you know, late evening, overnight, there's no other bugger in here. Always a bonus. What I will say is, look at your local Forestry Commission on a map. They've normally got proper car parks. Avoid the car park. Look at the complete opposite side of the wood. Is there any access points and place where you can sensibly sort of like park nearby? The far side. People are lazy. They don't go far from the car park. If you're the far side, chances are you'll have the place to yourself, depending on its size, of course. Right, a bit more walking. This is an awesome little track. Whoever set this up for their mountain bikes. Bombing down there, quite steep too, proper downhill course. Put in proper little jumps and everything. Back in the day when I was still working in the mountain bike world, I'd have loved this. And it's, you know, not a million miles away from where I live, and I didn't know it existed. Often the case. I don't really know why I'm filming in here today, because most people would just find this boring. But when I come into a new location, I'm like a little kid. I really am. It's, you know, eyes wide, wonderment. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, I could camp in there. I do think sometimes I should grow up. I really do. Just found a nice little spot here. Turn you round. Nice little flat area there. Dense undergrowth all round. That'd be a nice spot to set up. And I'm only, let's have a think, 10 minutes maximum walk from the car. But I'm probably quarter of a mile into the wood. Not bad at all. A fork in the path. Now the mountain bike type track goes that way. And there is a quite well used footpath through that way. Do I go left or go right? That way I'm gaining elevation. This way sort of drops into the valley a bit. I think I'll have a peep over the hill that way. But at the moment I'm thinking carry on the bike track. Alright, so it opens up into a more traditional woodland this side. Okay, path's a bit overgrown though, and I've only got my lightweight trousers on with all the rain we've had. I'm getting quite wet. I might head back to that other trail. But that nice open section there, yeah, that'd be alright if there was a group of you. Well, that track petered out to almost nothing and got quite dense, so I've about turned. Rain come on quite hard a second ago. So there's a small stand of large trees here with great overhead coverage. So I didn't get too wet. I'm going to start heading back towards the car. I haven't been out long, but this weather's so unpredictable at the moment. You probably can't see through there. Let me see if I can make it a little darker. Out of the woods, you see there's a very big light patch. There's one field outside of this edge of the wood. Then the hedgerow at the top is where the little back lane is. That's where I've parked. So I'm not that far from the car. It's probably sort of straight through there. 5-minute walk. So I'm just going to follow this little path down through here. See where it goes. Well, the rain's passed and the sun's come out. So I've decided to venture on a little bit further. I've got the time because I was out early. It's only just gone 9 in the morning now. So I can spend as long as I like out here, really. Wouldn't be the end of the world if I didn't come back until it was time to go to work, but this opens up nicely. Nice valley there. Up on that high ground over there. That's where I was earlier. Looks like a couple of streams in the bottom there converge. So water supply. Oh, it's so nice in here. So quiet. No people. No traffic noise. We've got the rain on the trees, which isn't unpleasant because I'm not really getting wet. Quite nice. Well, I've gained about 100 metres in elevation, and although that path looks tempting to continue, can you hear the traffic noise? Not sure whether the phone can pick it up, especially with this breeze, but instantly when I come out of this section of woodland, a little bit more height, I can hear the traffic. So straight away, it's not what I want. If I want traffic, I'd go and camp on a roundabout again, which wasn't really fun. It was a giggle, but it was a bet, so I did it. You know, I come places like this to get away from normal life. I spend my life on the bloody road. Last thing I want is to listen to it in my free time. But it just shows you how effective the land and the trees are at blocking the traffic noise. It's not like I've got that much closer to the road by taking this path, but just getting up to the top there instantly hits you like a wall of sound. Probably didn't sound very loud on the camera, and to be fair, it wasn't over loud. But seeing as the rest of the woodland is so quiet, it really sort of hits you quite hard. This is a beautiful little spot here. proper open traditional woodland. Be nothing better than dropping a tent in a nice little flat spot in here. Hammock would be a bit more of a struggle because the trees are so well spaced, but you could probably find a couple. This is what I like. The pine plantations, yeah, they're okay. The big old mature ones, bit of space in them, they're okay. But the modern intensive growing ones, they're just dense and dark. Give me a view like this any day. It's nice to have something to look out on rather than just, you know, staring at a tree that's only 6 feet away. Well, it looks like I've found an old boundary. You find these quite a lot in the woodland if you know what you're looking for. Got a ditch on the far side, a little bank this side. Along the top of the bank, there's all these really old, gnarly trees. Probably many, many years ago, like 100+ years ago, they were probably all cut and laid. Someone probably did some hedge laying to make the boundary. But, you know, it's quite obvious there, the ditch and a bank and the very old trees. So that separated two lots of property at one time. I must say that it's sort of like quite dense and ancient woodland out that way, and this side you see how it's all very sort of like young skinny saplings, much more modern plantation. But I like finding some of these old tracks sometimes, old boundaries. The old Drovers Road, the Drovers Roads have got brilliant history. Not sure I've ever gone into that, but hey, there's been enough of me bloody waffling on this video already. Maybe I'll talk about Drovers Roads on another occasion. We're back on the main track, walking back up to where the truck's parked. Just off this main track there's a couple of beautiful flat level spots that would be just perfect for a truck camp. But sadly, you can no longer access this sort of place. Not with a four-wheel drive anyway. Mainly down to irresponsible off-roading with 4x4s and motocrossers and that sort of thing. And also people taking advantage and driving just down in places like this and fly tipping rubbish. Scum of the bloody earth doing that. I've never really understood the whole fly tipping thing. If you can go to the effort of loading it in your car and taking it out into the countryside, well, you can drive to the bloody tip. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's a shame you can't access these places anymore for, you know, responsible people like myself. But it's just never going to happen. The minority has spoilt it for the majority, as per normal. Can you imagine waking up with that as a view? Lovely. It's so quiet. Good maintained road. You get in and out here with a car, let alone four-wheel drive. It's, you know, easy access. Truck's just at the top of that hill. I'll go that way. It might be a little bit bright. That hedgerow, that's where the lane is. I've parked round the back. So quiet. I mean, I haven't heard a single car down here all while I've been here, and that's in the middle of the day sort of thing. You can imagine how quiet it is at night. And we're back to the truck. You see the original gate and how people had bypassed it sort of through the wood. They've had to put the posts in to stop people doing it. It's such a shame. I remember years ago when this was just an open track. You just come in off the road and drove in if you wanted to go down in there and camp and whatever. It's a shame. Well, that was an enjoyable walk for me. I'm not sure about for you watching. I'm not even sure if I'll make this into a video until I sort of look back at what I've recorded. I've got a funny feeling it's just going to be a lot of long, waffly old bollocks, which is kind of me, to be fair. But yeah, I might make it a video, who knows. Didn't have any real plans today, just out for a quick walk before this storm hits in an hour or so. And well, I had my phone. I thought I might as well do some filming while I'm out. I enjoyed it. It's a nice location. It's certainly one to keep in the memory bank when I fancy somewhere different. The trouble is, round here there is so many places I tend to sort of forget. But yeah, that was the track down into the wood. Time to get in the truck, go home before the rain and wind hits. It has gone very still now, and that's often the sign it's on its way. Like they say, the calm before the storm. It's almost like the weather stops for a second and goes ready to blow. Something we're quite used to here on the coast. Right, that's me, more waffling, signing off. See you on the next one.